This week in Trump world, the Smithsonian, tariffs, labor unions, and yes, George Clooney. Four wildly different stories. One thread, power, culture, and the fight over America's story. Let's get into what Trump did this week that's sparking outrage, applause, and confusion, all at once. First up, Trump signed an executive order demanding the Smithsonian purge what he calls divisive anti-American ideology. Yes, the nation's most prestigious museum network is now on notice from the former president. His words, "Museums must inspire unity, not guilt. We will no longer fund institutions that shame our heritage." Supporters cheered. Conservative commentator Mark Levin called it a necessary step to reclaim cultural institutions from radical ideology. Republican lawmakers echoed the sentiment, arguing museums have gone too far in highlighting America's darkest chapters. But critics, they hit back hard. Historian Ibram X. Kendi said, "Erasing the past is not patriotism, it's propaganda." Democratic Representative Jamie Raskin called the move an assault on truth. What's really at stake? Not just plaques and exhibits, but who gets to define America? Next up, Hollywood heat. George Clooney appeared on 60 Minutes last weekend, warning that Trump's rhetoric poses a danger to press freedom and democracy. Clooney said, "What we're watching is the slow erosion of the free press under a man who sees journalists as enemies." Trump clapped back within 12 hours, calling Clooney a second-rate movie star and a failed political pundit nobody listens to. He posted, "The only thing George Clooney ever liberated was a Nespresso commercial." Trump's base? They loved it. MAGA Twitter exploded with memes and edits mocking Clooney's film roles, but others saw it as more troubling. CNN's Jake Tapper said the president's tone further degrades civil dialogue in the country. Even some moderate conservatives questioned the move, asking, why punch down at a movie star in a critical election year? Let's talk labor. Trump signed another executive order targeting federal unions, removing collective bargaining rights for agencies tied to national security. The administration says it's about efficiency and mission readiness. Critics call it union busting in disguise. Here's the breakdown. Agencies like Homeland Security and DOJ are affected. Over 100,000 workers could lose bargaining power. Supporters say it's overdue. Former OMB Director Russ Vought tweeted, "Taxpayers shouldn't foot the bill for a bureaucratic gridlock. Trump's cutting red tape." Unions fired back. The American Federation of Government Employees vowed to sue. One federal worker said, "This strips our voices out of the workplace and gives unchecked power to political appointees." The bigger question, if a president can eliminate bargaining rights with one signature, what protections really exist for federal workers? And finally, Trump's love affair with tariffs is back. This week, he doubled down on a plan to hike tariffs on foreign cars, telling reporters, "I couldn't care less if automakers raise prices. Americans will buy American cars." That quote went viral. Supporters framed it as classic Trump. America first, no apologies. Fox News praised him for standing up to global supply chains that undermine U.S. jobs. But the auto industry isn't cheering. Car dealers warned prices could spike thousands of dollars. Detroit Free Press editorialized, "Tariffs aren't patriotic when they price Americans out of their next car." Even conservative economists are skeptical. Stephen Moore, a former Trump advisor, said, "This could backfire politically if middle-class families feel the pinch." Once again, we're watching economic nationalism collide with economic reality, and the election clock is ticking. So, what do you think? Should museums be patriotic? Is Trump protecting federal agencies or crushing unions? Is Clooney right, or just another Hollywood elite out of touch? And would you pay $3,000 more for an American-made SUV? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new here, subscribe for smart, no-fluff breakdowns of the biggest political stories each week. This is about more than Trump. It's about the forces reshaping the country right now. And we'll be here every week pulling that thread.